being shot 14 times. I, get into an incident with a guy who couldn't let a grudge go, and he followed me one night and he just shot in my car, and bullets were flying, and it was just a bad experience. I remember just the smoke of the gun and just how scary it was. Never thinking that you'd ever be a victim of something like that. Being an African American man, you try to stay away from those statistics. Anyway, but I went through that, man, and I can just remember there was a lot of people that were helpful for me. I went to the hospital, and for the first 3 weeks I was unconscious, and I didn't know what was going on. So when I woke up, I didn't know that anything. I was thinking I'd be back in practice. I thought I missed a day of practice. Actually, I was out for 3 weeks, and the doctors and all had to tell me that, and you had been shot 14 times. You had your left leg amputated above the knee, paralyzed from the waist down. So imagine the emotional stress of realizing that all your hard work, it's gone, it's over. Everything that I worked hard for since I was 10 years old was gone in an instant. And for me, that was one of the toughest things. I remember one of the detectives, Detective Sullivan, still friends today on Facebook. We always Facebooking each other, arguing about politics. But he called me one day in the hospital. I had been in the hospital for months. And said, "Rich, we got him. We got the guy." And it was bittersweet for me because I knew that, he was going to go to jail, he was going to go to trial, but I knew I would have to face this guy again. And I didn't know how I was going to feel about that. So when I went to the courthouse, I was very nervous, very scared. But I remember a tough little lady named Ann Duggar. She was, she came up to me and she talked to me and she told me all my rights, and she told me about the Justice Coalition that I didn't even know anything about. I didn't even know it was a coalition, and it was funny to me because going to the trial, being a victim, I felt like I was on trial because the way they tried to assassinate my character and do all these things to try to get this slime ball off. But they were there for me, and I know they do a lot of things with the legal system now, and I appreciated that, but the biggest thing for me was the personal times, like sitting in the hallway. They would come pray with me, and they would call me and see how I was doing at home, and just helping with my impact statement, which was very hard. Honestly, I wrote it and I didn't think anything about it until I started to read it. But I remember Ann was right there with me from the Justice Coalition. She was standing right there with me. And it was hard to get through, but just to know that somebody was there with their hand on my shoulder, it was comforting. And I really thank them for that. We have a great city here in Jacksonville, but we have crime like everybody else. But for me, whether it was the paramedics who saved my life, the doctors who saved my life again, the police officers that did a wonderful job taking this guy down, getting him life, burning those guys, fighting like bulldogs in the courthouse, to the Justice Coalition. We have a lot of good people in this city, and that's what gives me hope. Because, for all the bad people out there, there's tons of great people out there, people that care, and that's what it's all about, no matter about race. And, politics is big now. All that stuff goes out the window when we're just humans and we just care about people. I'm getting all shaken up. But I feel kind of guilty because there's so many victims that won't be able to talk. They won't be able to say how they feel. I just thank everybody who fought for me and who fight for everybody who's a victim in any kind of way. You guys are the heartbeat of this city. You keep it going. And I just thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. And this is your wife with you, Richard's wife. Please give her